Lena sat on her bed, staring at the old photographs pinned to her wall. Each picture was a memory of her best friend, Mia, who had moved away a few months ago. They had shared everything: laughter, secrets, and dreams. Now, the distance between them felt like an unbridgeable chasm, wide and empty. The ache in Lena's heart felt heavy. She missed Mia more than she could express. The last time they were together, they had promised to stay connected. They texted and called each other, but it was never enough. The sound of Mia's laughter echoed in Lena's mind, but now it felt distant, like a fading song. Sometimes Lena would lie awake at night, staring at the ceiling, wishing for things to be the way they used to be. She felt trapped, unarmed against the loneliness that crept in like a shadow. One afternoon, while scrolling through her phone, Lena came across a video of Mia at her new school. She was smiling, surrounded by new friends, but Lena felt a sting of sadness. "Why can't I be there?" she whispered to herself. It felt like everyone was moving forward, and she was stuck watching from afar. Lena felt small and powerless. She wanted to reach out to tell Mia how much she missed her, but doubts clouded her mind. What if Mia was happy without her? If she didn't want to talk anymore? The fear of rejection gripped her tightly. She felt unarmed against her own worries and insecurities. Days turned into weeks, and each passing moment deepened Lena's sense of isolation. One rainy evening, as she sat by her window, watching the raindrops race down the glass, an idea sparked in her mind. She grabbed her notebook and began to write. She poured her heart onto the pages, sharing her feelings, her memories, and her hopes for their friendship. "I miss you more than I can say," she wrote. "I feel lost without you here. I want to hear your voice again, to laugh with you like we used to. I know you are making new memories, but I hope there's still a place for me in your life." As she finished her letter, a sense of relief washed over her. It was as if she had taken the first step toward bridging the gap between them. But how would she send it? Texting felt too impersonal, and she wanted this message to be special. She decided to mail it, to put it in an envelope, and send it across the miles. The next day, Lena walked to the post office, her heart pounding with a mix of excitement and anxiety. The small building felt like a fortress holding her hopes. She dropped the letter into the mailbox. She felt a surge of courage. "I did it," she whispered to herself. "I just have to wait." Days passed slowly. Lena checked her phone constantly, hoping for a response. The silence felt deafening, but she tried to stay hopeful. She thought about all the adventures they had shared and how their bond had always been strong. If their friendship could survive those moments, maybe it could survive this distance too. Then one sunny afternoon, as Lena was watering her plants, her phone buzzed. She rushed inside and saw Mia's name on the screen. Her heart raced as she opened the message. "Lena, I got your letter. It made me cry happy tears. I miss you so much. Let's set up a video call soon. Want to hear all about what you've been up to?" Lena's heart soared. In that moment, she felt a wave of relief wash over her. The distance that had once felt so isolating now seemed like just a small hurdle. They would reconnect, and their friendship would grow stronger. As the days turned into plans for a call, Lena realized that even when things felt distant and overwhelming, hope could bring people back together. She was no longer trapped or bleeding from loneliness. She had taken a step forward, and it felt empowering. In the end, Lena smiled, knowing that even if they were miles apart, their bond was unbreakable. She was ready to face whatever came next, armed with hope and the love of a true friend. Trapped, unarmed, and bleeding in her heart, she had transformed that pain into strength. And now she felt ready to take on the world. Lena felt a rush of excitement as she read Mia's message again. She could hardly believe it. After weeks of feeling lost and alone, her best friend had responded. "Let's set up a video call soon," Mia had said. The thought of seeing her friend's face again, of hearing her laugh, but even with this glimmer of hope, a wave of anxiety washed over her. What if she didn't know what to say? What if the distance had changed everything between them? The days leading up to the call felt like a mix of anticipation and nervousness. Lena spent hours preparing. She tidied her room, making sure it looked nice for the video. She even picked out a bright blue top that she knew Mia loved. I want to look my best for her, she thought, hoping to bring a little of their old joy back. As the day of the call approached, Lena's mind raced with memories of their time together. They had spent countless afternoons at the park, sharing secrets, and dreams under the big oak tree. They would talk for hours about everything and nothing, feeling like they were the only two people in the world. Now those memories felt both warm and painful, reminding her of the distance that had grown between them. Finally, the day arrived. Lena set her laptop on her desk, her heart pounding with excitement and anxiety. She sat down and took a deep breath, trying to calm her racing thoughts. Just be yourself, she whispered to herself. Mia is still your friend. At the exact time of their call, Lena clicked the link and waited. The screen flickered until Mia's face appeared, bright and smiling. Lena felt a rush of happiness. Mia, she exclaimed, feeling a weight lift off her shoulders. Mia waved enthusiastically, her eyes sparkling with joy. Lena, I can't believe we're finally doing this. For a moment, they both just smiled at each other, the distance between them shrinking with each passing second. Lena could see that Mia looked happy and healthy, her hair glowing under the light. You look great, Lena said, her heart swelling with warmth. How is everything? Mia started to share stories about her new school, her new friends, and all the adventures she was having. Lena listened intently, feeling both joy for her friend and a twinge of sadness. I'm so glad you're happy, she said softly, but I miss you so much. Mia's smile faded for a moment, and she nodded. I miss you too, Lena. It's not the same without you here. I wish you could be part of all this. Lena felt a rush of relief. They both felt the same way. The distance was hard, but their bond was still strong. As they continued to talk, Lena found herself opening up about her feelings. I felt really sad after you left, she admitted. I didn't know how to reach out. I was scared you were too busy to care about me anymore. Mia looked surprised. Oh, Lena, I would never forget you. You mean so much to me. I felt the same way at first. I thought maybe you were moving on without me. Their conversation flowed easily, and soon they were laughing together again, just like old times. They shared funny stories, reminisced about their favorite memories, and even made silly faces at each other. The laughter felt like sunshine breaking through the clouds. Lena realized that even though they were far apart, their friendship still had the same magic as the call came to an end. Lena felt a sense of hope blooming in her heart. Let's do this more often, Mia suggested. We can set up a regular time to talk, like a date. Lena nodded eagerly, her smile wide. Yes, I want to hear everything about your new life. After they said their goodbyes, Lena sat back, her heart lighter than it had been in weeks. She felt empowered, knowing that she had taken the step to reconnect, and that Mia felt the same way. The distance, while real, could not weaken the bond they shared. In that moment, Lena understood that relationships could survive change. They could bend and stretch, but not break. She had faced her fears and stepped out of her comfort zone. Trapped, unarmed, and bleeding with doubt, she had taken action, and now she felt ready to face whatever came next. The connection with Mia was still alive, strong, and full of hope. After Lena's video call with Mia, she felt a renewed sense of hope. Their laughter still echoed in her mind, brightening her days. But as the weeks passed, she struggled with the challenge of maintaining their friendship from a distance. Day was a mix of excitement and uncertainty. She wanted to reach out, to share her life with Mia, but she often felt unsure of how to do it. Lena decided to take action. She remembered how much Mia loved surprises. Why not send her a care package? She thought. Something to remind her of home. The idea filled her with energy. She would gather items that represented their friendship and send a piece of herself to Mia. The next Saturday, Lena made a list of things to include. First on her list was a small jar of homemade cookies. She and Mia used to bake together all the time, laughing and making a mess in the kitchen. I'll bake a batch and send them, she said with a smile. Lena spent the morning in the kitchen, measuring flour and sugar, mixing the dough with care. The sweet smell filled her home, and she felt warm inside, thinking about Mia. As she pulled the golden cookies from the oven, she couldn't help but taste one. It was delicious, just like the ones they used to make together. "I hope she loves these," Lena murmured. Next, she gathered a few small trinkets. She found a friendship bracelet they had made during a summer camp years ago. It was a little worn, but still beautiful, a symbol of their bond. She also added a small photo frame with a picture of the two of them at the park, arms around each other, grinning from ear to ear. Finally, Lena wrote a heartfelt letter, putting her feelings into words. She wanted Mia to know how much she meant to her, how their friendship was still strong despite the distance. "I miss you every day," she wrote. "You bring so much joy to my life, and I want you to feel that love, even from far away." The package was ready. Lena carefully packed everything into a box. She wrapped the cookies in bubble wrap, placed the trinkets gently inside, and folded the letter on top. As she sealed the box, she felt a rush of excitement. "This will show her how much I care," she thought. The next day, Lena took the package to the post office. As she handed it over to the clerk, a wave of nervousness washed over her. What if Mia didn't respond? What if she felt overwhelmed by the gift? But Lena pushed those thoughts aside. She had taken a step forward, and that was what mattered. Days turned into a week, and Lena found herself checking her phone anxiously. She wanted to hear from Mia, to know that her package had arrived. Finally, one afternoon, her phone buzzed with a notification. It was a message from Mia. "Lena, I got your package today. Thank you so much. The cookies are amazing. Can't believe you remembered the bracelet. It means the world to me." Lena's heart soared. She could almost see Mia's smile through the screen. "I'm so glad you liked it. Miss you so much," Lena replied, her fingers flying over the keyboard. As they continued to chat, Lena felt a sense of relief. Mia shared stories about her new life, her new friends, and how she wished they could be together. They talked about their favorite memories and made plans for their next video call. With every message, the distance between them seemed to shrink even more. Lena felt empowered. She realized that even though they were apart, she could still take steps to keep their friendship alive. The care package had been a bridge, connecting them across the miles. The love they shared was strong enough to survive the challenges of distance. After their conversation, Lena sat back, reflecting on how far she had come. She had faced her fears of reaching out and had taken action, trapped, unarmed, and bleeding with doubt in the beginning. She had transformed that feeling into hope and connection. In the following weeks, Lena continued to send little surprises. To Mia, a funny postcard, a small book she had enjoyed, or a simple note. Each gesture deepened their bond. Each response from Mia brought joy to her heart. Lena learned that true friendship doesn't fade with distance. It grows stronger through effort and love. She felt like a warrior in her own life, armed with the courage to nurture what mattered most. As she looked out the window, watching the sunset paint the sky, she knew that no matter where life took them, she and Mia would always find their way back to each other. After weeks of exchanging messages and little surprises, Lena felt a renewed sense of connection with Mia. Their friendship had grown stronger, despite the miles that separated them. However, a part of Lena still felt a little distant, as if there was something more she wanted to share with Mia, something deeper. She longed for a way to truly express how much their friendship meant to her. One evening, while sitting on her bed, Lena picked up her phone and scrolled through her photos. She paused when she found a picture of them at the beach, laughing and splashing in the waves. It brought back a flood of memories, carefree days filled with sunshine, ice cream, and endless conversations. Lena smiled, but then sadness washed over her. She missed those moments. She wanted to create new memories with Mia, even if they were apart. Suddenly, an idea sparked in her mind. What if we could plan a virtual adventure? She thought. Something fun that could bring us closer together, the thought excited her. They could explore new places without leaving their homes. Lena quickly grabbed her notebook and started jotting down ideas. She thought about their favorite activities. They loved cooking together and had always talked about trying new recipes. What if we do a virtual cooking night? She mused. They could choose a recipe, cook together over video chat, and then enjoy their meals while chatting. It sounded perfect. Lena quickly sent Mia a message. Hey! How about we have a virtual cooking night this weekend? Can pick a fun recipe and cook together? What do you think? Within minutes, Mia replied with enthusiasm. That sounds amazing. I'd love that. Let's make homemade pizzas. It'll be so much fun. Lena felt a wave of excitement. They were going to do something special together. She couldn't wait. As the weekend approached, Lena prepared for their cooking night. She made a list of ingredients and went grocery shopping, feeling a sense of joy with each item she picked up. She chose colorful toppings, pepperoni, bell peppers, olives, and fresh basil. She could already picture the delicious pizzas they would create. On the day of the cooking night, Lena set up her kitchen with her laptop on the counter, ready for the video call. She put on her favorite apron and tied her hair back, feeling like a chef. When the clock struck 6, she clicked the link to start the call. Her heart racing with excitement, Mia appeared on the screen. Her eyes bright and her hair tied up in a messy bun. Lena, I'm so ready for this, she exclaimed, holding up her ingredients. Lena laughed at the sight of Mia, who had flour dusted on her nose. You look adorable, she said, and they both burst into giggles. They began the cooking process. Following the recipe together, as they chopped vegetables and mixed the dough, they chatted about everything school, friends, and funny stories from their past. It felt like they were in the same kitchen, working side by side. Remember that time we tried to bake cookies and almost set the kitchen on fire? Mia said, laughing. Lena chuckled, recalling the chaos they had caused. Yes, and then we had to explain to your mom why there was flour everywhere. As they continued to cook, Lena felt a warmth in her chest. The distance between them seemed to fade away. They were creating new memories, just like the old days. It felt wonderful. When their pizzas were finally ready, they each pulled them out of the oven. Sight of their creations made them both cheer. They look amazing, Lena said, her mouth watering. They held their pizzas up to the camera and took a virtual toast with their drinks. Cheers to friendship. Mia laughed. They took a bite, and the flavors exploded in their mouths. This is the best pizza I've ever had, Mia declared, and Lena agreed wholeheartedly. As they ate, they talked about their dreams for the future, sharing hopes and plans. Lena felt empowered as she listened to Mia's ambitions and shared her own. They encouraged each other, just like they always had. By the end of the night, Lena felt a deep sense of fulfillment. The virtual cooking night had brought them closer than ever. They had not only shared a meal, but also their hearts. Let's do this again soon, Lena suggested. Maybe we can try baking next time. Definitely, Mia replied, her eyes sparkling with excitement. As they said their goodbyes, Lena felt a sense of hope swell within her. She had taken an active step to reconnect, and it had worked. The distance, once daunting, now felt manageable. They were not just friends. They were a team, ready to face anything together. Lena realized that even when life seemed to push them apart, their friendship could bridge the gap. Trapped, unarmed, and bleeding with doubt at first, she had turned that feeling into strength and joy. She knew that as long as they continued to reach out and share their lives, they would always find their way back to each other, no matter the distance. After the success of their virtual cooking night, Lena felt a renewed sense of determination. She had seen how a simple idea could bring her and Mia closer, even when they were miles apart. But deep down, she still worried about the distance between them. What if they drifted apart again? She wanted to keep their connection strong, so she began thinking of new ways to stay in touch. One evening while lying in bed, Lena had an idea. What if we start a friendship project? She thought excitedly. It could be something fun that allowed them to share their lives in a creative way. She quickly grabbed her notebook and began to brainstorm. What about a shared journal? She wrote, "We could take turns writing entries about our days, our thoughts, and our dreams. Then we can send it back and forth." The more she thought about it, the more excited she became. It would be like having a little piece of each other's lives in their hands. The next day, Lena went out to buy a beautiful notebook. She wanted it to be special, something that reflected their friendship. She found a colorful journal with a lovely cover that said, "Adventures await." It felt perfect. She could already imagine the stories they would fill it with. When she got home, Lena opened the journal and wrote the first entry. "Dear Mia," she began, "I have an idea. Let's start a friendship journal. We can write about our lives, our hopes, and anything we want to share. I'll send it to you, and then you can write back. I miss you so much, and I want to feel closer to you." After finishing her entry, Lena carefully packed the journal in a box along with some colorful pens and stickers. She felt a rush of excitement. This was another way to bridge the gap between them, and she couldn't wait to see Mia's reaction. That weekend, Lena mailed the package and watched as the post office clerk took it away. "I hope she loves it," Lena whispered to herself. Feeling a thrill of hope, days passed, and Lena eagerly awaited Mia's response. She felt a mix of excitement and nervousness. Would Mia be as enthusiastic about the idea as she was? Finally, after a week, Lena received a message from Mia. "I got your package. The journal is amazing. I love the idea. I can't wait to start writing." Lena's heart soared. They began a new routine where they would write in the journal and send it back and forth. Mia wrote about her experiences at her new school, sharing funny stories about her classmates and her favorite subjects. Lena wrote about her own life, her family, and her dreams for the future. They filled the pages with drawings, stickers, and little notes of encouragement for each other. One day, as Lena was reading Mia's latest entry, she paused at a line that made her heart flutter. "You're my best friend, Lena. No matter how far apart we are, you are always in my heart." Tears of joy filled Lena's eyes. She felt so grateful to have such a strong bond with Mia despite the distance. As the weeks passed, their friendship journal became a treasured part of their lives. Each entry was like a conversation bridging the gap between their worlds. Lena felt empowered knowing that they were both putting in the effort to keep their friendship alive. They were not just waiting for things to happen, they were actively creating their connection. One rainy afternoon, while writing in the journal, Lena had another idea. What if we set a date for a virtual movie night, she thought. They could pick a movie, make popcorn, and watch it together over video chat. It would be another way to share experiences and create new memories. Excitedly, she wrote the suggestion in the journal and sent it off to Mia. When Mia received it, she was thrilled. "Yes, let's do it," she wrote back. They settled on a Friday night, and Lena could hardly contain her excitement. On the night of the movie, Lena set up her living room with cozy pillows and blankets. She made a big bowl of popcorn, just like they used to do together. When the time came, they logged into their video call, both wearing pajamas and ready for a fun night. As they watched the movie, they laughed and commented on the scenes, just like old times. Lena felt a warmth in her heart. The distance that had once felt so overwhelming seemed to disappear in those moments of joy and laughter. After the movie ended, Lena and Mia talked for hours, sharing their thoughts about the film and their lives. Lena realized that even when they were apart, their friendship was stronger than ever. They were both committed to nurturing their bond, and it filled her with hope. In that moment, Lena felt empowered and alive. She had faced her fears and taken action to reconnect with Mia. Trapped, unarmed, and bleeding with doubt in the beginning, she transformed that feeling into strength, creativity, and love. She knew that as long as they continued to put in the effort, their friendship could overcome any distance. Together, they were unstoppable. As Lena settled into her routine with the friendship journal and virtual movie nights, she felt a sense of joy and connection with Mia that she hadn't experienced in a long time. However, there was still a part of her that wanted to do something even more special to celebrate their friendship. She wanted to show Mia that their bond could withstand anything, even distance. One sunny afternoon, while walking in the park, Lena came up with a brilliant idea. "What if we create a time capsule?" she thought excitedly. They could fill it with mementos from their lives, things that represented their friendship, and then open it together in a few years. The thought thrilled her. It would be a way to hold on to their memories and dreams while looking forward to the future. Lena hurried home and grabbed her notebook. She wrote down her idea. "Dear Mia, Let's make a friendship time capsule. We can gather items that remind us of our friendship and put them in a box. Then we can decide on a date to open it together. What do you think? She felt a rush of excitement as she sent the message. Didn't take long for Mia to reply. Lena, I love this idea. Let's do it. I can't wait to see what we choose to put in there. Over the next few days, they both started gathering items to include in their time capsules. Lena thought carefully about what to choose. She decided to include the friendship bracelet they had made together, a photo of them at the beach, and a small seashell she had picked up during their last trip to the ocean. Each item held a special memory, and she hoped Mia would love them. Meanwhile, Mia was busy collecting her own items. She wrote Lena a message saying, I found a ticket stub from the concert we went to. I'm including that, and I'm also going to write a letter about my dreams for the future. Lena's heart swelled with happiness. They were both putting so much thought and love into this project. When they finished gathering their items, they decided to set a date for their time capsule ceremony. They chose the upcoming weekend, excited to share their treasures with each other. On the day of the ceremony, Lena set up her living room with a cozy blanket and fairy lights to create a special atmosphere. She felt like this was going to be an important moment for both of them. When the time came, they logged into their video call, both filled with excitement. Are you ready? Mia asked, her eyes sparkling with joy. I can't wait to see what you chose. Lena nodded, her heart racing. Let's start. They took turns sharing the items they had chosen. Lena held up the seashell and said, This reminds me of our beach trip. We laughed so much that day. I want to remember that happiness. Mia smiled and showed her ticket stub. And it was such a fun night. I love singing along with you. As they shared their items, they talked about the memories associated, with each one laughing and reminiscing about the good times. Finally, they both pulled out their letters. Lena felt a flutter of nerves. I wrote about my hopes for the future and how much our friendship means to me, she said. I want to be able to travel and see places together one day. Mia's eyes lit up. Me too. I wrote about wanting to be an artist and how I hope we can have adventures in different cities. They read their letters aloud, and as they spoke, they felt a deep sense of connection. It was as if they were sitting together, sharing their dreams, and it filled Lena with hope. After sharing their items and letters, they carefully placed everything into a sturdy box. Now we have to decide when to open it, Lena said. Heartful, how about in 5 years? Mia agreed. Yes, that gives us time to grow and make more memories. They sealed the box with a promise to cherish their friendship no matter where life took them. As they finished the ceremony, Lena felt a wave of joy wash over her. This time capsule wasn't just a collection of items. It was a symbol of their commitment to each other. No matter how far apart they were, their friendship would always be alive in their hearts. Lena realized that she had transformed her feelings of sadness and distance into something powerful and beautiful. Trapped, unarmed, and bleeding with doubt at the beginning, she had taken charge of her emotions and created a way to celebrate their bond. She felt empowered, knowing that their friendship was strong enough to withstand anything. In the following days, Lena smiled at the thought of their time capsule. It was a reminder that they were not just two friends separated by distance. They were partners in adventure, ready to face the future together. She looked out her window at the stars. Twinkling in the night sky, she knew that their friendship would always shine brightly, no matter the distance. As the weeks turned into months, Lena felt a sense of peace and connection with Mia that she had never imagined possible despite the distance. The friendship journal and their time capsule had been incredible ways to keep their bond strong. Entry and shared memory helped them feel closer, but Lena still felt a yearning for a more tangible connection. She wanted to create a moment they could share, something that would allow them to celebrate their friendship together, even if they were apart. One evening, while browsing through her photos, Lena stumbled upon a picture of them at a carnival from a few years ago. They were both laughing, holding cotton candy, and surrounded by bright lights. The joy on their faces made Lena smile, but it also sparked an idea. What if we recreate that carnival experience? She thought. We could have our own virtual carnival night. Lena quickly grabbed her notebook and began planning. She decided to send Mia a message with her idea. "Hey Mia, what if we have a virtual carnival night? We can make fun snacks, play games, and even dress up like we're at the carnival." She felt a rush of excitement as she hit send, hoping Mia would love the idea. Minutes later, Mia replied, "That sounds amazing. I'm in. Let's make it happen." Lena's heart soared. They set a date for the virtual carnival night, and Lena began to prepare. Over the next few days, Lena gathered supplies for their carnival at home. She bought colorful streamers, snacks like popcorn and candy, and even planned a few simple games they could play over video chat. She wanted it to feel festive and special. On the day of the event, Lena decorated her living room with the streamers and set up her laptop on a table filled with snacks. She wore a bright, fun outfit, reminiscent of their carnival days. When Mia logged into the video call, she was greeted by a colorful scene and a beaming Lena. "Welcome to the carnival," Lena exclaimed, arms wide open. Mia laughed, her eyes shining with happiness. "This is incredible, I love it." They both settled in, ready to enjoy their virtual night. They started with a game of trivia, testing each other's knowledge of their favorite movies and music. With each question, they laughed and teased each other, just like they used to. Next, they moved on to snacks. Lena held up a handful of popcorn. "This is the best part. Used to eat so much of this at the carnival." They munched on their treats, reminiscing about the last time they had shared a carnival experience together. Then it was time for a mini talent show. Lena suggested they each showcase a fun talent or skill. "You go first," Mia encouraged. Lena took a deep breath and decided to show off her juggling skills. She had been practicing and wanted Mia to see how much she had improved. She grabbed 3 small balls and started juggling. After a few fumbles, she finally managed to keep them in the air, and Mia cheered loudly. "Lena, that was awesome." Mia clapped. "Now it's my turn." She picked up a ukulele and strummed a few chords. "I've been learning this. Here's a song I wrote." Mia sang a sweet and simple song about friendship, and Lena felt tears of joy welling up in her eyes. It was beautiful, and it reminded her of the special bond they shared. As they continued to play games and share laughs, Lena felt a warmth in her heart. The distance that had once felt heavy now seemed light. They were creating new memories, filling their carnival night with joy and laughter. It was as if they were together again, experiencing the fun and excitement they once had. At the end of the night, they sat together, exhausted but happy. Lena looked at Mia and said, "Thank you for being such a great friend. I love how we can still have fun even though we're apart." Mia smiled warmly. "Me too. You always find a way to make things special, even from far away. I'm so grateful for you." As they said their goodbyes, Lena felt a sense of accomplishment. She had turned her feelings of sadness into something beautiful and joyful. Unarmed and bleeding with doubt in the beginning, she had transformed that pain into creativity and connection. In the following days, Lena reflected on their carnival night and all the fun they had shared. She realized that their friendship was a powerful force, capable of overcoming any obstacle. They were not just 2 friends separated by distance. They were 2 hearts connected by love and understanding. As she looked out her window at the stars, twinkling in the night sky, Lena felt hopeful. She knew that no matter where life took them, they would always find their way back to each other, sharing laughter and love. Together, they were unstoppable, ready to face whatever adventures lay ahead.